Hi everybody and welcome back to Koi Pond Lifestyle in this tropical heat we're having in Stoke-on-Trent at the moment. What have we got today? Today we're going to look at a little idea that I was running about 18 months ago with transferring air from my garage to my filter system. Now this has been on and off trialing for a little while now and I think I've got some results, so we'll have a look at that in a little while. The vortex idea I put in a previous video, that what I was trying to do was I was trying to empty completely the vortex with a quick twist of the outlet valve, see if it'll swish it all out and away we go without wasting too much water. Now I don't think I kind of explained that very well last time, because what I was actually trying to do was literally open the valve for a few seconds and then close it again. I wasn't looking to empty the vortex completely. I was only looking to... The comment was, just open, why are you using a siphon? All you do is open the valve and it draws the stuff out. And I thought, okay, that's good, let's try it. But it didn't quite work, and I think the comments after the video, a lot of people thought I was still trying to empty the vortex and take the rubbish. No, there's two ways I do my vortex, two ways I do it. The first way is with the siphon, at the moment, with the siphon that you've all seen by now. If you haven't seen it though, I'll put it on again, by all means, just ask. The other way of emptying my vortex is purging the bottom drain. So I'll empty it completely, swish it around so it stirs up all the bottom, empty that lot out, purge it 2 or 3 times to make sure that everything in the bottom drain is clear, then refill it. But it uses a lot of water. We're talking at least maybe 3 or 4 vortex full of water, which I'm trying to avoid. Obviously, when I purge the bottom drain, I've got to do it. You know, that's just what it is. I've got to do that anyway. Oh, I can't do this t-shirt thing. I'm bloody frozen. Whose idea was that anyway? It's not. It's blooming freezing Stoke-on-Trent still. Anyways, so yeah, the vortex thing. So I'm trying to fabricate something that will allow me to draw the waste out the bottom of the vortex, but at full chat, only for a few seconds, then turn it back off again. Let's see how that works. Right, so let's start by having a look at the vortex job first. I'm going to just empty it out. I've just sort of drawn the filter system right down to minimum, maximise the water in there so I'm not wasting too much in the vortex. And then I'm just going to pull the brushes out and do some measuring, and then have a look at what I can do with this piping that idea I've got. Let's crack on. Right, so the idea is that this pipe here will be perforated on the bottom side of this new pipe I've put in. I'm going to perforate it with some small slots, so it'll be slot, 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 and then same but the opposites, so they'll go opposite each other in diagonal stuff. So that will then, and I'll block that end off because that end's going to be right against there anyway, and then so when I open this pipe, it should draw through the full length of this pipe and draw all the rubbish up that's on the bottom, in theory. Don't knock it till you've tried it. So in effect, I turn the valve on, it draws for a few seconds, drawing everything off the bottom, doesn't use a full vortex of water, I turn it back off again, saved water but cleared the rubbish on the bottom. Let's crack on, let's get that done. Right, recap, this is what I'm going to do. I've now got this pipe, I know this pipe fits. I'm going to cut some slots in the underneath of it, just at some angles, like so. Maybe something like that. I don't know, I'll work something out. And then the same on the other side, but opposites. So where there's one there, I'll do one there. Where there's one there, I'll do one there, and so on. So in effect, instead of it just drawing from that little hole at the bottom, it'll draw, potentially, I don't know, until we try it, because we don't knock things till we try them in a year. And this could be a school day, which would be good. Is it'll draw for the full length, because when I put the pipe in, I opened the valve and it drew really well from one end. So do I block that end off? I probably will, because that's flush against the end now, so I won't need that end, and it'll draw through these little bits, through these little side vent things underneath, and I should hopefully empty the vortex within a few seconds rather than have to empty the whole vortex. So that'll give me a second option. So the only thing is, I'm going to have to do this in a couple of days, because I'm going to have to wait for that vortex to fill with rubbish again. Just purge the bottom drain. So the bottom drain now has dumped a load of rubbish in there, but not really enough. So I'm just going to maybe give a few days, create a bit of waste. So this is going to be a few days more before I come back on this one. So let's crack on with something else. So a little idea of how I was going to transfer warmth from my garage, which is just this structure right behind me, out into the filter system. Now I did try with putting a air brick into the wall to draw air into the filter system. Didn't work. Oh, where are you going? There you are. Didn't work, because basically it blows that way, it doesn't draw out. So it was blowing into the garage, cold air, and not drawing the warm air out. So that air brick didn't work. So I just trying to transfer any free air into here. The only way I could look at doing it was transferring, or where my air pump was blowing from the garage, because my air pump's in the garage, as a lot of you probably know. The buzzy thing, bzzz, still buzzes. Blowing the air from the garage into the filter system, because obviously the weather at the moment is blooming freezing. It's not, yeah, it is freezing actually. Hence not the t-shirt anymore. So I was trying to blow some air in. I was wondering if it made any difference to the water temperature, because I can get that garage up to 20 odd degrees when the fire's on, and I'm blowing the air from there into there. So that's what we're going to have a look today and see if it's working or not, and see if I'm going to put the temperature thing into these bays and see if it changes the temperature from when it comes in at the vortex to when it goes back out there. Let's have a look. So there's the fire, lovely toasty warm. I know that's running at it's making the temperature in the garage to around 11 or 12 degrees. So it's about 4 or 5 outside. Inside, 12 degrees. There's my blower. And then my blower runs the air from here, straight the way down, out the wall, down there. And then and into the Multibay filter. So the temperature between the air blower and the fire is around about 23, 24 degrees. So is that warm air that this will be picking up in a bit, a couple of hours maybe away from me turning it back on, all the way through, out there, and it goes out through the wall into the Multibay filter, and then it goes through some insulated piping. So I've insulated it all the way through. It's only about 6 inches, it isn't, and then straight, and then it's into the water to the bottom of the Multibay filter, and then blows the air up through the media. So let's have a look, and we'll do the temperatures. Right, so there you have it. The air blowing from the garage, even when the temperature next to the blower is created around about 22 to 24 degrees, which is the air it's blowing from the garage, but by the time it reaches the water, it makes no difference whatsoever to the water. However, I'm going to keep doing it, because obviously the fire's there and the pump's there, so keep doing it. But yeah, it doesn't make any difference. So it won't warm the water, it won't air the water, it doesn't do anything whatsoever. But I still have to blow air into the filters, but that's the only thing it does. It just blows air in it doesn't create any heat in the filters. So okay, I couldn't knock it till I've tried it, and I've tried it, and I'm going to knock it. So there you go. What we do need to do though, we need to crack on and get some sponge cleaning today on the last bay. So I'm going to quickly just get those sponges rinsed through. It's been about a week and a half now, because what I'm doing in the filter, in the vortex, that's going to take a few days to sort of get itself back up and running again. So I'm going to hold off everything now, just drop the water off, get these sponges clean, and then we're done with them as well. I tell you what, I love this little filter system. But this time of the year, oh my god, it's cold. Jeez, we're talking the water temp today is just under 5, well, just over 5 degrees. So yeah, these multi-bay systems are fantastic. They work really well. If you get them set up, they work fantastic. Clean them in the winter. At least in the winter you don't have to clean them as often. But god, they're cold. My jeez. Anyway, I better get on because my hands are freezing off. Right, that's the sponges done. Now this is interesting. What's something interesting? This is different. I've just spotted something on the top of my Jack matting that I meant to mention a couple of videos ago, to be honest, when I saw it. You know these pond balls that you can add? These are a favourite of Telford Koi Pond, these are. Phil likes to use these. He recommended these to me, and yeah, I'd probably use them. How good they actually are? Somebody prove that they aren't, somebody prove that they are. We will do one day, but that'll be another video. But yeah, so people say about putting these pond balls in. I put some in, obviously, when the water was warmer last year, and there's still some in the Jack matting. I'll show you. There you go. Thousands of little pond balls. Some of these clear ones. You can get the clear ones, or you can get the black ones that Telford Koi uses. So yeah, this is covered in pond balls, because these are only used, I believe, when they're needed. So if you've got something in there that the bacteria will feed off, then they get used. If they don't, then they'll just sit there dormant. So before you go chucking loads of pond balls in your pond, when the spring comes along, just check if you've still got some in the bottom of your filter, or like I've got here with some in the Jack matting, because I'm not going to put any in there, because I've got quite a few in here that I'm going to watch them dissolve first, then put some new ones in. So I thought that was quite interesting. I'll just show you. And I just found a load more. Look where I found some more. I don't know whether you can see it right down the side of the Jack matting. If I put my hand down here, look at them. Hundreds of them that haven't been used. They've just been sitting there waiting. And they're all down the side of here, where I couldn't see them. So, look, there you go, there's more. So yeah, check wherever you put these balls before you start wasting money, or spending money, maybe not wasting it, I don't know, on more, because yeah, there's hundreds of them. So there you go. Short arms, deep pockets. Okay, man cave stuff, because I've got to start cutting the base out of these. I've changed the lines a little bit. I suppose you're feeling a bit confused about why I'm doing this. What are you doing that for? And just get your siphon out, man. You've got a siphon that works perfectly well. Why are you messing around with this stuff? There was a couple of comments of people saying, why don't you just open the valve and let it all go for a couple of seconds, not a complete empty. So I tried that, it didn't work. So I thought, well, how can I make that work? You know what I'm like, once I get something to my head and I've got to try something, and again, you know, don't knock it till you tried it, school day stuff, you know, etc, etc. So I just thought I'd try it. If it didn't work, then it wouldn't work. You know, what else are we going to do around the pond at the moment? It's blooming freezing out there. There's nothing else happening around the pond. So yeah, let's try some things in winter, which is good, you know, check things out and try them out. So I'm going to just get these holes drilled in here, and then we'll get it back in. I've got to try to block off the end, so I found myself a little screw top off a milk jug, and what, can you believe it? It's like a Smartie jar. Fits perfect, so I'm going to stick that in there, and I might just bore a little hole in there just in case any drops into there, and it'll from there. So I don't know, let's get these cut, and then we'll see what happens if it works. Ooh. See what happens, make it work. Right then, holes are done. Let's say these are just sort of opposites, and this will sit on the bottom. This would be my outside external plug. Plug that in, so hopefully now when I open the valve, it's going to draw, potentially, who knows, the whole length of this. I don't know whether it will now, because these slots are quite big that I've put in, so I may just only get, it may only draw from there again still. I don't know, I'll have to try it. I'm still waiting, I've still got a couple more days. I'm still waiting for waste to get in the bottom of the vortex, to be honest, so that I've got something to actually try to pull out, because I ain't going to anything to pull out at the moment, because I did it all the other day. So yeah, hence why this video is take me a little bit longer to complete. So as soon as we get some waste in there, we'll put this in, pull the plug, and see what happens. Oh, and while I'm here, did my KH back to 4, which is good. So, you know, as I said in the past, we're quite lucky in Stoke-on-Trent because the KH in our tap water is quite high. I think mine's between sort of 6 and 7. I just did it before now. So I don't need to be chucking any bicarb in. I just do a couple of water changes and it brings it back to where it should be. I think I was watching James the Koi Whisperer the other day, and he was talking about his KH, and he's quite right in saying, look, if you can keep it stable, then just as long as it's not too high, it's not too low, just keep it stable where it is. You know, the fish in ponds, I'm led to believe, don't like a lot of changes in pH, KH, temperature. You know, that's a hard one, temperature, because my pond isn't heated, so I struggle. Well, I can't. I can't keep it at a decent temperature. I have to just go with the season, and if the season drops it, it drops. If the season raises it again, it comes back up again. So, you know, that is a major bonus for having a heated pond, so you can stick it at a temperature and it's good. The only bad side, obviously, with heated ponds is the blooming expense. You know, I kind of feel for the people that have got these heated ponds at the moment. I've got quite hardy fish in my pond now. Well, I hope so. I mean, they've got through this winter so far. I'm hoping to get out into spring. It's usually as you come out of winter into spring where you start seeing any fish changes, and that's when I've lost more fish. As you come out of winter and into spring, you've got to keep an eye on things. Something actually that somebody said on my channel a couple of times is every year they treat their pond for parasites. And I said, oh right, what parasite have you got? He said, I haven't got any, but I always treat it because it makes sure that it kills anything that's in there. I don't know whether to try that this year, do a bit of a trial or not, but I don't want to stress the fish out too much with just trying something, you know, that's not a good thing. Anyways, gotta wait for the vortex to get some rubbish in it, and then we'll plug it in, see if it works. Right, we're on another day. Well, I've been on a few days actually. Now created the Koi Pond Lifestyle Waste Extractor. I've been bored, I've got nothing else to do. So anyways, let's get this fitted in, because again, as I said before, the theory is that it will draw the whole of the waste from inside instead of just for the few seconds. I'm not looking to empty the vortex completely. Just turn the waste tap on, 2-3 seconds. Hopefully it'll pick up all these, chuck the waste out, turn it back off again. I don't know, don't knock it till you tried it. I've had to just halve the amount of water in my vortex because I'm trying not, I obviously can't fit my arm all the way down to the bottom, so I don't want to empty it because I've got a lot of waste in there at the moment. I don't know whether there's enough waste in there to show this demonstration works, but I've turned everything off now. The filter system is now isolated from the rest of the pond, so I can kind of do whatever I want with this now, and it shouldn't make too much of an issue to the pond. So anyway, let's get this thing fitted in, and then we'll see if it works. Right, we're back. It's test day. I've let the vortex run for a couple of days now, because like I said, there's no really a lot of rubbish coming out of the pond because I ain't feeding. So I've had to sort of disturb a little bit of algae that sits on the side of the pond. I've just disturbed a bit of that off the bottom as well, get it sucked up through the bottom drain, and it's now landed in the bottom of here. So that's what you'll probably see that's been taken out today. Other bits and pieces that the fish are creating, I suppose, but like I said, there's no waste because I ain't feeding them nothing to create it. So we're going to I'm going to get the GoPro, and you're going to go for a spin inside to actually see it, so we can all see if it works or not. Because like I say, you can't knock this till you've tried it, and this is all scaled back from the comment I had from one of our subscribers saying, oh, just open your valve for a couple of seconds and that'll sort it. And I tried it and it didn't work. So how can we make it work then? Let's maybe try this one. So I can't knock it till I've tried it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it works, then I'll leave it in there. If it doesn't, then I might just leave it in there anyway, because do I want to stick my hand into freezing cold vortex again on this side of spring? Not really, no. So anyway, I'm gonna get this go-y pro-y thing, dunk you in, splash, have a look inside there, and we'll see if it works. Right, well there you go. I honestly think that's got legs. If you look at, here's the before and here's the after. And I think that if I can get that extraction tube lower in the vortex, I think that's got legs. Because when I first fired it open, it started taking it away, but it was almost like it couldn't draw the rubbish off the bottom because it was too far away from the little slots. I think that's got legs. And I'm going to work on that, see if I can get it to go closer to the bottom. Not sure how yet. Got a few ideas. Lovely jubbly. So anyway, yeah, so there you go. So that, it's got legs. I can work on that. I think we can do something with that. Watch this space. But what I did have to do was go back to your faithful. Those last little bits left in the bottom. Got that out with the siphon. So I think this is still the best way forward if you're trying to get stuff out your vortex and not waste too much water. But that's interesting. I'll keep an eye on that. Shame about the heat going into the thing, but to be honest, I didn't think that was going to work anyway. But you just don't know till you try things, do you? You've got to try some bits and pieces. I thought while I had cold hands, I thought, sorry, we'll have a little look at my couple of fish that you can see at the moment, the chag and me Sherogoi Sid. They were both sort of hanging around, so I took this footage, did it really quick. It's in winter, you see, they're looking for a bit of food at the moment, but again, the pond's, it's only sort of 7 degrees. It's gonna put a degree or so, but it's only 7 degrees, so I'm not feeding them. But yeah, they were up looking, and I thought, oh, I'll get this advantage to get them used to my hand going in, because I'm gonna be hand feeding that chag real soon. As soon as that food can go in, I'm gonna work on that. So yeah, see how friendly he is already. That's quite good. Update on the upside down aquarium, whatever you want to call it. Been over to see my fabricator, and we've agreed a design. So a design has been agreed now, which is good. We're looking at how it's going to fit on the two edges, because like I say, this one's quite a large, or larger. It's not massive, but it's a larger scale job. So we've got to make sure that it stands up and it doesn't pull the whole pond walls in, because that would not be good. So we're doing a lot of thinking at the moment. But yeah, we've got the design now. He's just doing me the prices, make sure I can afford it, because I'm having to use a stainless steel now, so that's not going to be cheap. So that's going to be moving on as well. So I'm hoping to get that in by early March, late March. Don't know yet, working on how the design goes. We're going to do a couple of trial fits and then move on from there. And on that bombshell, thanks very much for watching. Please click the subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. Like the video if you like the video. Click the notification for bells and more. Again, share to all your friends. Thanks very much for watching. This was Koi Pond Lifestyle.